Hey, you guys, what's going on? It's your girl Kimora She, and you're tuning into the second episode of the Artist Sit Down. I'm so excited to be bringing you guys a second freaking episode. And honestly, I would definitely say I got some feedback from the first episode. And as you guys can tell from the sound, from the quality, we upgraded. And I can assure you guys that this is how it's going to be for the remainder of the episode. So I thank you for the feedback. I thank you for the views. We're almost at 100 views. So if you haven't yet went and go watch the first episode, be sure to click over after this episode and take a look at that one that we did with Jay. We actually did that episode with Jay. He was a sound engineer, and that episode went amazing. So make sure you guys check that out. On today's episode, it's going to be really exciting. I have someone who I would say is very talented. Excuse me, guys. I'm a little bit out of breath because honestly, I ran here. I had to submit a paper, and the amount of like breath that I'm trying to take to just talk to you guys with like energy, it's a lot. But without further ado, help me introduce my favorite person on campus right now, MC and upcoming DJ, MC Exclusive.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I guess I just want to start off this interview by just saying, like, tell the cameras, tell the audience, tell the people who you are, what you do, and yeah.
Hi, my name is MC Exclusive. I am an upcoming DJ as well. I basically promote events, do flyers, and I also host events, and I also DJ and MC at events. I've basically been doing this for 2 years now at Alfred State College. I've been doing it off campus and on campus. It's been a very wild experience, but it's been a very learning and growing experience as well. I feel as if I was able to grow, I was able to learn, and I'm able to accelerate on my talent as a DJ and as an MC. So that's basically what I do, and yeah.
I love that. I love that. So I guess just to open up the, just icebreaker and everything, um, let's start off by saying like, what's your major?
Okay, yeah.
What's your age? How old are you?
Okay, so my major is technology management. My minor is media production. I'm 22 years old currently. I will be graduating next semester. I basically, my name is Naya. If you wanted to know that.
And where can the people find you social media wise?
Social media wise, you can find me on TikTok at exclusive_NY, and Snapchat you can find me Naya NYAH with 3H's 001. Instagram will be coming soon. A lot of all my friends, everybody has been on my butt about that.
So you guys will also be able to find her Instagram, not her Instagram, her social medias at the end of this episode. So if you stay to the end, you'll be able to get her social media contacts, to DJ her, promote her, and to be able to book her for any of your shows, any of your gigs. So I guess my first question to you would be, what got you into emceeing?
Okay, so this is a very interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a great hype man. I just never knew that it was MCing.
Okay.
So I've always like every time, like this was like 2 years ago. I would say I was like 19, 18. I will always be like, go, 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 just hype up my friends. But I didn't know it was MCing until one of my friends, her name is Mika. Shout out to Mika. She basically told me like, oh, I want to become a DJ. And I was like, oh, okay, as you should. I'm here for it. And then she was like, I'm telling you because I also want you to be my MC. And at first I was like, oh, really? Like, I didn't know that I could, do it. And then we went to a practice. I got on a mic, and my freestyle was very natural. It was like I knew what to say off the bat. It was very, like, it was people around me like, wow, like, you have, like, how did you know how to. And it was just, it was natural. Like I said, I did get better learning, hearing other MCs and DJs. But when I first started, it was just like a natural sound that I have, and I still keep that sound to this day. So that's basically how I started, MCing.
I love that. I love that. And I love how your friend kind of helped you get directed in that field of emceeing. So when it comes to you, like you doing MC work, like what do you think your biggest gain from that is, and what do you feel like right now you're still working on that you feel like it's kind of hard to adjust to?
Okay, my biggest gain from MCing, I would say, is I would say my mental wise, my energy wise, that's my biggest gain because that's something I do because I love. So every time I get on the mic and I MC, I feel like I'm not even there at the party. I just feel alive. I feel different. I feel better. And so like that would be my biggest gain from MCing because I just feel good when I pick up the mic. I would say the things that I'm working on is social wise. I'm an introvert and an extrovert at the same time. So I can be very like, oh yeah, life of the party, but then there's times where I just want to stick with me and my people. And so I think that's another struggle that I'm dealing with is trying to like deal with me going into an area or a field that's very sociable and trying to handle that social like interactions and things like that.
So, and you know, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that you say like you're introvert, extrovert, because I feel like when it comes to talent in general, like talented people, like, you know, your interest, your field, like what you're actually into, I feel like it kind of is just like super opposite to the type of person you really are, like in general, wise, speaking about people with talent, especially like musical wise. Like, I would definitely say like your favorite artists, like on stage, are like super energetic, very social, like with the people. But when they're off stage and they're themselves, they're very like quiet, timid, almost. And it's crazy to see the dynamic of how they kind of switch to, you know, being social in the life of the party to kind of just being themselves, of course, while still having that social type of energy off the stage. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to say that I'm actually really proud of you for like the amount of work that you put into your craft. I can definitely see you're somebody that, you know, you take your craft seriously. And I want to say that, you know, just seeing you in certain spaces here on campus and um, handling a lot of conversations and a lot of things that, you know, go on behind the scenes, I would definitely say you handle them with grace. And, you know, you respect yourself, you respect your craft and what you're um, here to bring to the world.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Being an MC and an upcoming DJ, I think that's
Thank you.
amazing. So I would definitely say my next question, what do you feel like when it comes to, let's keep it like behind the scenes, what's like the hardest thing to do when it comes to working with people at gigs?
Okay. Ooh, that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the scenes, it can be a little difficult, as in everybody is different, and so we don't all think the same. And so I feel as if it's always a negative and a positive when working with people. I feel that is sometimes, you know, it could be a little difficult when you have an image and someone else don't have the same image, and it's like you guys can't come on to the same image. But then I've also worked with people where we have different images and we put both of them different images together. And I feel like when I feel like when it comes down to behind the scenes, I think that it all gets down to communication.
Yeah.
And with communication, it's a very interesting, you know, thing for people. I feel like with me, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to in the business you have to discard your feelings.
You do.
So I feel like I'm trying to discard my feelings and just keep it business to where if it benefits me and the people around me, that's what I'm gonna do. And so as far as like behind the scenes, I would say yes, it is very much difficult, but when you work with certain people, it's not that bad. It's actually sometimes it's pretty good. I had a DJ that I worked with, which was also my closest friend that I knew here. Shout out Greg.
Shout out
And
Greg.
and he it was an amazing experience just coming up with him because he was there in the beginning, and it was just such an amazing experience just coming up with him. And of course there's up and downs, of course there are with everybody, with anything, but at the same time, like I said, with a team you able to come together and really just
Bring that
put
vision to
forth,
life.
yeah. And so that's what I would say about that. Shout out to Greg, and I will also say to everybody that like if you feel as if the behind the scenes is too much and you want to quit, don't. You keep going and you just try to figure out a way to communicate, get your thoughts across, and do what you have to do for yourself.
Exactly. I think that's really a great life point because a lot of the times I feel like the pressure for people, especially like in different fields, different industries, whatever your field may be, like, I think the hardest part is communication. And I think because a lot of people have different personalities and a lot of people do come from different upbringings, and there are some people who are more lenient than others, and there are some people that you can consider to be a little bit more selfish. Um, that kind of plays into how a lot of things go about, and it can become um, just very hectic when it's time to actually make a final decision. So I would definitely say, piggybacking right off of you, like, definitely just know how to communicate and get your terms across, and also just stand firm on your terms and like what you will and won't accept. Ultimately, you know what's right for you and you know what's going to benefit you. So I think it's really great for you to just, continue to believe in yourself and know what your worth is, and you know shit is going to work out. So I guess my next question for you would be, where do you see yourself, timeline, I guess I could say 5 years, contributing to music? Like, what do you see yourself doing for music?
That's a great question.
Mhm.
5 years from now, I see myself. I know I will have my master's.
Mhm.
I think I see myself in a DJ group.
Mhm.
I see myself working with a lot of people, and I see myself like being independent as far as like being away from home. Um, but as far as like the music thing, I really do see myself working with way more people. Like I think it's just the image in my head of me like with a lot of people,
Mhm.
and it's just like a big DJ thing. I do see myself making songs,
Making songs.
and not really like actual like songs with albums and things
Mhm.
like that, but like there's MCs that like they kind of like fake do like freestyles on an instrumental,
Right.
and I basically have this little like freestyle that I always say, and I wanted to make that into a song. So I know probably a lot of songs. I think a lot more people will know me instead
Mhm.
of just in Alfred. I think like maybe I don't know if I do, but I'm thinking about going above for grad school. So maybe out in Buff or even in the city, for because I'm from Brooklyn. I
Mhm.
definitely want to
Shout out
expand.
Brooklyn.
Shout out Brooklyn. But I definitely want to expand. So I think I see myself in 5 years expanding, developing, working with a lot of people, owning businesses as
For
well.
sure.
Because one thing I did want to do was own a business like a bar,
Mhm.
and I be like the DJ and the MC there
That's
at the bar.
perfect.
Yeah. And so that's really pretty much where I see myself, just expanding my business and it just thriving, getting better.
I love that. You know what I'm saying? And I love especially the idea of, one, you saying you wanted to get your master's, so shout out to higher education, wanting to keep on going further. I love that. And definitely for the business talk. I think the bar idea is amazing. You being the DJ, emceeing at your own bar would be dope. I think that's a stream of income, especially the bar in general, a stream of income. So I feel like that would be perfect for you. I feel like for your energy, for your image, I definitely would say for like the image that you have now, to see how that expands and grow, I think that's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. So I would definitely say, when you can and when you do start, continuously, just promote yourself image wise, especially on social media. Continue to grow, gain your fan base. um and I would definitely want to ask you, like, once again, shout out to Brooklyn. You said you were from Brooklyn, so
Yes.
how would you say your journey in Brooklyn, you growing up in Brooklyn, kind of shaped you? Like, first, were you born in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I was
Born
born in
and raised.
Brooklyn, born and raised in
So how do
Best
you feel
Side.
like that shaped your experience when it came to music?
Um, I would say that shaped my experience because I grew up in African American household.
Mhm.
So and also Caribbean household.
Mhm.
So music was always around. Even when I was younger and I was around my grandmother, she would take me to the Panamanian parade. They would be playing music. Um, with my father and my mother, loved music. My mother always plays songs, old school songs, and like I just grew up listening to music. I think it came to a point where it just became comforting.
Right.
Even when you're walking in the streets of Brooklyn, you're gonna hear music coming out of cars. You're gonna hear people playing it on the radio. Like
Okay.
you gonna hear it.
That real
And
New York shit.
yeah, and it's very, I love the energy, and I
Mhm.
feel as if it just makes your day. You know, I feel like music is not even though it is sad songs, I feel like it's not a sad thing. I feel like you're releasing energy.
Exactly.
And so I feel like that's how it really shaped me. Even when you go into Manhattan, you see the talent, and it's a lot of talent, and it's a lot of like artistic things in Brooklyn that I would say, and even in the city alone. So yeah.
And would you say like there's any venues or places that you will like like aspire to like want to DJ at, MC at in particular, like any clubs, any arenas? Like you could just set a goal on to be like, I think I want to do that.
Yeah, so like I love Ice Spice, and I was watching her, and I was watching her at one of her shows, her performances. It was a big crowd, like maybe over like 20,000 people there. And when I was watching it, I heard somebody in the back MCing. I was like, I want to do that. I want to. You don't even like. I don't want to be like known. Like, oh yeah, that's her. Like, of course, if you know, you know. But I wanted to be like, instead of me being the artist, the person that's in the back hyping it up. That's where I want to be.
Okay.
Because that seemed really like, when I seen that, I was like, I didn't even know that existed. That they would have people on the mic commentating while the performer is performing. That's what I want to do.
You're making the moment, and
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful thing, especially, and it's actually an important thing. And I feel like an MC, especially when you're an MC and DJ, when you look at places like Summer Jam or like, you know, these type of places, events that go on, there's always a DJ, and the DJ is always MCing, or if there's not the DJ's an MC, they have a DJ and an MC, like at all these events, like when it comes to Summer Jam. And I don't know why, like my mind is going blank of like all the other events, but there's always going to be an MC and a DJ, because honestly, the artists, of course, they make the moment, but as an artist, especially being on stage, and not saying that, you know, you guys don't get nervous, because you do, but it's kind of like that support for them. And so I would definitely say your job is like a little bit more, like a little bit harder in a sense, because it's like you have to create that momentum for the artist to get the artist hype, and then for yourself, and then for the crowd. So, you know, you have a really big, you know, job to do. And that's why I was saying that it's going to be beautiful to see how you grow when it comes to your audience, when it comes to being in front of bigger crowds, because that's going to be like a different type of energy. And, you know, when you get there, I feel like that's just going to, is going to take over the world. So I think that's really dope. So I want to say, getting a little bit off topic, because you did say Ice Spice.
Yeah.
She's definitely, you know, making a lot of noise in the media.
Yeah.
And so I guess you being an MC DJ, having to, you know, mix a lot of songs, play a lot of songs at these parties. How do you feel about Ice Spice, one? And then my next question is, what are like your general type of like genre music almost that you go to when it comes to playing songs at these parties that you host?
Okay, so the first question, my thoughts about Ice Spice. I love her. I love
Shout out
Ice Spice.
Spice.
Like I think the women in the music industry is just going up. Like, and it's just like, I usually, like, I don't really listen. I listen to, and this is kind of going towards the second question, but I listen to a lot of dancehall reggae. So it's like, when I hear the women that rapping now, like, it's amazing. Keep doing what y'all doing. But yeah, I love Ice Spice. I love what she's doing. And I know it's a lot of people that say like, oh yeah, you know, but she shouldn't be rapping about that. She's grown. You get what I'm saying? You have to make sure your kids don't listen to that kind of music, because that has nothing to do with her. And I feel like even her energy, even like when I see her on interviews, yeah, I think Ice Spice, and it shows like, it's just a different, and it gives, you know, city. She from the Bronx.
So from the Bronx. It gives city, it gives raw, it gives talent. And I feel like, just like piggybacking off of you, a lot of people really don't like what she rap about. But once again, like, it's your job as a parent to really be in the place of knowing what your child is listening to And they're going to get older, and this is my personal perspective. They're going to get older, and they're going to branch off and listen to these artists in general. So of course be aware of what your child is listening to. However, I would definitely say, like, especially just being an artist myself and knowing that I do put a little bit explicit content, language in my music. um, Also just know that it's not the end of the world, because there are other music out there for them to listen to. This is just one of the songs they just so happen to like. And it doesn't mean that it's going to conform them or turn them into whatever it is that they're listening to. They just like the song.
To like kind of comment on that too, it's like I agree with you because I feel like with certain like, because it's like even with like if you see that you a parent, right, and you have a daughter, and you see that she's listening to that, I feel as if you're gonna be on her about that, you gotta make sure your son not listening to drill music either. And I feel like it just goes both ways because I feel as if it's a lot of male and women artists that are promoting and saying a lot of like vulgar things to where I feel
Especially
as if,
in these days.
especially in these days, I feel like your kids should just listen to Kid Bop at this point.
Like straight Disney Channel
Yeah,
songs back in the days, like Send It On, Real Camp Rock, Lemonade
yeah,
Mouth,
Lemonade Mouth, yeah.
Cheetah Girl. You know what I'm saying?
Cheetah
It's just like
Girls.
you have to know like the type of times that we're in, and at some point in time, like I guess just listening to what music is right now is just an evolution. One thing I would say is just like you said, like if you're gonna pay attention to what like your daughter's listening to, pay attention to what your son is listening to. Don't be biased to the fact that she's listening to somebody that may be a little bit vulgar than you like. That's probably what she likes, and that's not an issue. But also understand that if it was your son and he's listening to all this glock glock and all this,
Yeah.
shooting niggas in the back,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Like,
that's also a problem as well.
it's an
So,
issue.
I mean, I guess, going back to the type of songs
Yes.
that you like to play at these parties. So, what does your process look like when it comes to you putting these mixes out?
Okay, so for what kind of songs I like to play, if you know me and you've been to my parties, I'm gonna play that dancehall, that zesting music. You get what I'm saying? But I've started like you always have to be versatile.
Right.
So I've started messing with a lot of Afrobeat, a lot of Jersey beat, and what was the second question again?
So what does your process look like? So how do you go about like mixing and mastering these things and to get them to play at the parties?
So basically, what I do is shout out TikTok. I go on TikTok and I listen to sounds, and I already downloaded a lot of sounds. Like I download different songs, a cappella version, regular version, the music video version. It depends on what kind of vibe I'm trying to give. And so when I download certain songs, and then I go on TikTok, and I love instrumentals. So when I hear certain instrumentals, or when I hear like certain songs, I say, okay, let me think how I can transition this. Now, with a party, it starts from slow to fast. And so I try to basically have a slow vibe first, and then we get it pumped up. That way, everybody's excited, everybody has energy. And so I would play a lot of like, Bobby Smurda, stuff that would just like, get people pumped up,
Right.
Lil Durk, little stuff like that.
Right.
And then after that, it's time to please audiences. So I would please the guys, and now it's time to please the females. So then I would sit there and I would play songs like, females can whine too, and that's basically like what I would do. Basically, I also like want to tell like a story in each song that I'm playing. So if I play a song, it's going to relate to the next song that's coming in. And so it's going to be a nice, smooth transition. And that's one thing that I'm focusing on with DJing. I've been MCing and practicing MCing for like years now to where of course I have more things to work on, but it's very like, I could do it without practicing. But DJing, I feel like I'm just trying to work on that craft and like just trying to build that craft up.
I love that, and I definitely would say being at your parties, being at one of your parties that I have went to, shout out to 30. Um, I would definitely say your music definitely gets me hype, and you definitely incorporate a lot of tunes that I would say like nowadays. I would like, well, nowadays when I go to parties, doesn't necessarily get me out my seat, but you're definitely one of those MC DJs that, you know, get me out my seat and make me want to dance. I haven't danced in a long time, y'all. My bones is a little dusty, but she definitely is one of those artists that definitely get me up and make me want to like bust a little wine. But so my next question for you is, when it comes to you making mixes and continuing like your artistry, doing MC and DJing, for those of the people out there in the audience that don't know the difference between MCing and DJing, like, can you explain to them what that difference is, like what that looks like?
Oh yeah. Okay, so basically a MC is a MC, I wouldn't say the backbone, but it helps add some type of foundation to what the DJ is playing. So a MC is basically the hype man, but it's also like a person who is commenting on the songs before the song. So basically transitioning into the next song, introducing the next song. A MC is also a person who like I would say like a MC is a person who also like they talk, they do freestyles, and they basically make sure that the party is hyped up. Like that's their job. If the party's not hype at all, and there's an MC there, they're not gonna look at the DJ. They're gonna look at the MC because the MC does more than just talking to mic. I have to get sometimes at my bookings, and I get paid for this. I have to get up, go around, and ask people, "Can you please, get off the wall?" I'm not even asking you to dance in the middle, but just come by the middle. You get what I'm saying? That way, and that's just my job. That way, like I can make sure that the party happens. And I would say the difference between that and a DJ is that the DJ is the one who controls the music. The DJ is the one who controls the speed tempo of the music. If they want to go fast, if they want to go slow, the DJ controls the flow and the energy of the music. The MC basically helps the DJ by controlling the party as well.
Right.
So that's basically the difference. And the flat out difference is that the MC is on the mic, the DJ is on the DJ board. So
do you feel like a party could really be a party without an MC, vice versa, without well, of course, without a DJ, it can't be a party, but do you think a party could be a party without an MC?
No. I think that it depends. Well, okay, no in Alfred, and I would say maybe yes in other places. But as far as Alfred is a fun but tough crowd.
It is.
Not too much on Alfred, but
not too much on Alfred, but it is.
Yeah,
it's definitely a tough crowd. I definitely would say people like a lot of different type of sounds. We have a lot of wall huggers here.
Yeah.
So that's definitely it's definitely hard to get them backs off the wall. Yeah. But I definitely would say you definitely do an amazing job with doing that, especially watching the videos, being at some of your parties, seeing these girls do a lot of things I didn't even know they can do. And you did speak about getting paid.
Yeah.
So on the topic of getting paid, explain how that works. Like, what does a pay for an MC look like? Not explaining your budget, but what does a pay look like?
Okay, so basically you get paid hourly. Now, I just started getting paid. I would say I've been doing this for 2 years. I just started getting paid for it, like, from the school, like, from actual events last semester, the beginning of last semester. And
congratulations to that.
Yeah, thank you. And that first contract was really big. It was really like on something like, okay, I'm now getting like this is serious. But what I would say is basically it depends on hourly rates. So basically the MC is always half of the DJ. So if the DJ is one number, like say 500, the MC is 250. Basically I think that like with the paying, it's very like, I would say it's very, you're not going to start off getting paid first. That's just not going to happen at all because of the fact that you have to get yourself out there. You have to get yourself out there to the point where people from other clubs and organizations is looking at you like, you know what, I want her to do this event. And then now you're able to sit there and get paid for the event. So it is just like networking and things like that. But as far as how much like I get paid, like she said, I'm not about to say, no numbers or nothing, but I basically charge based off the hour, and I also charge based off my energy. I have great energy, and I also bring a lot of people with me to the parties. So I feel as if I'm going to MC the party, I'm gonna bring people. I'm gonna make sure I send it to everybody on my Snap. I'm gonna promote it. And I feel like that's 100% what goes with being an MC too, because it's like you just have to make sure that the event is the way you want it. And so that's basically how I go off my payment. And if I know that like me coming to the event will be a 9 out of 10 success, I will basically add on to my payment if that's the case. Like, yeah.
I love that. And so one thing I definitely do want to say is, especially just knowing a little bit about a little bit when it comes to emceeing and stuff, and just being a promoter in general. When you're that person who's bringing a lot of people to the event, you are to be respected and paid your fair price. And I think what a lot of things that happen, especially behind the scenes, is that people don't take that into accommodation. And that's why their parties end up being what they do, which is dry, stale. Um, and it's not to be funny, but it's,
No,
you
yeah,
know,
it's the truth.
respect
It's the
is
truth,
respect the
yeah.
art, respect my time, respect the amount of energy that is going into this, because I do know that MCs are putting out, like, literally to the next day, I probably won't have a voice for as much energy as I'm about to put in for this one party.
So true.
And so it's like you have to respect that and respect, you know, what I'm asking you for beforehand, so that I can, you know, do my job. And if you want what you want, which is a good party, respect what I'm asking you when it comes to, you know, payment and pricing. So I guess when it comes to staying on the topic of like pricing and payment, when it comes to you like discussing payment and stuff with people who do pay you for like these parties and hosting, do you feel like you're like lenient? Are you fair? Are you one of those people like, okay, I want my whole money now so I could pop up, or you could pay now, deposit when I get there? Like, how does that go?
Okay, so I'm shout out Chelsea, shout out Ujima.
Shout out
They-
Shujima. Shout out Chelsea.
They definitely held me down when it came to the parties. Always make sure I'm booked. I would say that with Ujima events specifically, I make sure that like I'm still a part of the club. So I'm not charging too much on them. And so even with them paying me, I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to certain people, I'm lenient because I know everybody's busy. I know everybody has things to do, and I know that they treat me good. So it's like I'm lenient with that. As far as like maybe other clubs, it might cost more because I'm not in your club. You get what I'm saying? And so I might like charge a little more. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I love that. Okay, guys, so we came to that point in our podcast where we are going to take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, we're actually going to give MC Exclusive our lyric trivia test. So stay tuned for that. And we'll see you right after the break.
While the two of them are on break, let's take an exclusive look at MC Exclusive's work. And remember, their socials will be in display at the end of this podcast, as well as in the description down below. So send them some love. It's absolutely free to do so.
Hey, you guys, it's your girl Kimora She, and
Exclusive, MC Exclusive.
we're here right after the break, and we're about to get into our lyric trivia test on MC Exclusive. I have 4 songs here, and so hopefully they're a little bit different from last time, and it's a little bit challenging, so we're going to see if she gets it. So without further ado, let's get it started. So the first one is, I done came up in it a little bit self-centered.
That's my vibes.
Oh, no.
Oh, I done came up in it a little bit self-centered.
I guess if I like add a little bit like melody to it, I done came up in it a little bit self-centered.
Nikki.
What song?
Oof. Oof. I'm not gonna lie. Nicki, I love you, but I don't know that song. But I
Oh,
know it's Nicki. It sounds like
it,
Nicki.
it definitely is Nicki, and I guess I gave it away. This is why I be talking, and I'm not gonna say the melodies anymore. But the Nicki ones, for some reason, they just always get
They
it.
always
But
get
that was from Hello, Good Morning.
Okay.
Um, so this is actually from. Actually, let me not say that.
Mhm.
All because of you, I be on the phone all night long. If I can steer you in any direction, it's an Afrobeat song.
All because of you.
I be on the phone all night long.
All because of you. I'll be on the phone all night long. Oh my goodness. That's a, okay. Oof. You see, not even the MC or the DJ know all music. um. Okay, I'm gonna make a guess at the artist, but I
Okay.
don't know the song. Burna Boy.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
He's from Nigeria, no?
Who Burna Boy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he make like Afro.
Okay, because I was gonna say that the artist is in that Nigerian.
Oh, they in that. Okay. Um, Craney? No, no,
Mm-mm.
no, 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 no.
You-
What's his name? Oh, what the song said? All because of you.
I be on the phone all night long.
All because of you. I'll be on the phone all night long. That sounds like what's his name? Is it the person that sing Joanna? Joe? Joe?
Mm-mm.
No, that's not him.
Mm-mm.
Ooh.
It was a TikTok challenge. Like it was like a really viral TikTok thing at one point. You might not get his name, but even if you like get the lyrics or like know how the song goes, I'll give it to you.
Ooh.
All because of you, I'll be on the phone all night long.
I don't even know. At first, I was gonna say that was little TJ. After that,
No, okay,
but
so do you want me to tell you?
yeah.
So it's actually CK Emiliana, and it's the song "All Because of You." I
I
be
be
on
on
the
the
phone all night long.
okay. I should have
Let
got
me
damn.
know,
I should have got that.
That's my
That's
song,
sad.
Emiliana.
Nah, yeah,
Okay,
that
so
song's fire.
this next one is "They Be Chatting, I Don't Give a Damn. I'm Still Getting Money. I Know Who I Am."
Oh, that's Ice, right?
That is Ice.
That's the yeah.
I
In
felt
a party he just went around.
they
They boozing
boozing
about
about
they
they
prom.
prom.
Yeah.
No, actually,
That's not
that's
it?
in her mood.
That's not this.
No,
Wait.
this was
Sorry.
Ice Spice Princess Diana.
Damn.
Like, Glock, keep the
Getting
stack.
sad.
Bitches.
Nah, cause I know he got banned. Oh yeah.
Okay, so the next one is I'm off the cast amigos, fucking my new bitch to Task and Speedo.
Yeah, I wanna thought the Uchi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think his name is Swag Talk.
The song is
It's
called
the
Swag
song
Talk.
is called
His song
Swag Talk.
is his name is D4M Sloan.
Yep.
That's my song, and I feel like that
Love that
song
song.
alone, I don't know, it just brings this real hood, gritty next chick out of me. Like I feel like I'm in like the strip club, like
Yeah.
really just getting stupid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like stupid.
It get me a little aggressive, like
It
I'm
real
off the cast.
aggressive. Like I feel like I'm in like the South,
yeah.
like real on the ground in the dirt. But
And that's that Jersey beat. That's that
that
Jersey
he is from
beat.
Jersey. No, he's not from Jersey. Is he from Jersey?
I'm not sure,
Let me.
but I know I know that's definitely he was using a Jersey beat.
Yeah, I don't really got time to look for him.
Nah,
Shout
yeah.
out D for M Sloan though.
Facts.
I don't think he's from Jersey. Definitely, I think he's from the South for sure. So this next segment we're gonna get into. You guys know that I love doing a quick check-in and a mental check-in. So I guess for you, I just want to ask like, how do you feel like life is treating you right now? Like, how do you feel like shit is going for you?
Oh life.
Yeah,
Oh, I love life.
I love life.
One thing I could say is I'm appreciative of waking up every morning. I just want to
Yeah.
start off with that. You get what I'm saying? I would say for right now, life is like life is lifing. I feel like we're all growing, we're adulting,
Yes.
and I feel like mentally wise, like I'm still growing and we all go through stuff mentally, you know. So I would just say mentally wise, like, yeah, it's some days where I'm off and it's some days where I'm good. But I would say like, and that's one thing that I do want to like, I want to see myself change in 5 years with this aspect. I just want to be like, it's always going to be problems and issues. I just want to be so unbothered by it. Like, it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And I only say that because I feel like even being an MC or a DJ, there's going to be a lot of problems evolving around you in various of different like areas, because you're a DJ, you're an MC, you're talking to multiple people, you're interacting with multiple people, you have to work with multiple people, it's a lot to it, you know. As far as just regular life, you know, in school, you know, I'm one semester left, so
Congratulations to that.
yeah,
No funny.
Yeah, one semester left, you know, and I feel as if with like mental, it's definitely gonna get better. Definitely going. It's not horrible, you know, but I would say like it's days where I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But then it's also days where I feel as if it's so much good going on, I can't even be mad at the mad. And I feel like that's one thing I'm just trying to progress and like be better at, is just growing, evolving, and knowing when I just don't want certain energy to affect my energy. I think that's another thing about me. I allow things to affect me too much, and I feel
I think it's because you're a Pisces,
yes,
right?
I'm a Pisces.
Shout out to the Pisces.
Shout out to the Pisces.
Yeah. I think it's just because you're a Pisces, and I think, you know. But I love that you definitely did say like it's so much going on. You don't let the you can't really get mad at the bad shit, things that happen. I think, you know, it's a good thing to have that mindset and to stay put in that mindset. So what do you feel like is like some before we actually wrap up, what do you feel is some things that kind of help you stay in like a peaceful mind frame to like get you back to yourself?
I would say my friends, my family, and music. I would say, especially being out here, you're by yourself. You get what I'm saying? If you have, you know, you might have siblings, you're gonna have friends, of course, but you're by yourself. Like your mom, your dad not here. Even like the people that you're close to in the city in your hometown, they're not here.
Yeah.
And so I just I feel as if like my friends, they're such great company. It's times that we all have times where we feel like lonely, we need to be around somebody. And I feel like just being around my friends, just having like their company just calms down my mental. It's like I could have had the worst day, but I'm chilling with my friends and that's all that matters. I would say my friends is really one thing that I cherish. I think that's that Pisces in me too.
Yeah.
Love my friends. And then also family. Shout out to my mother.
Shout out to
my
mom.
mommy. She's like, I love my mother. I told my mother I MC one time, and 2 weeks later I got on the phone with her, and I was my voice was hoarse. She was like, "You was up there MCing, wasn't you?" Yeah, my mother. I only have to tell her one thing only, and she's always there.
Support.
She's always there to support,
I
and
love
she knows how I am, so she knows things could get hectic and I could get very overwhelmed. But she always tell me like, calm down. You get what I'm saying?
I love that so much. I
Calm
love that
down.
bond. I love
Yeah,
that.
so
I guess the last thing I definitely want to say to you, if you could just look into the camera.
yep.
If you could look into the camera, what is one thing that you would want to tell anyone that you ever encounter to give them some words of encouragement, motivation, and, you know, to keep them on like a mental stride to keep going?
One thing I would say is that you know you're doing something right. When there's people trying to put you down, don't stop. Don't stop. You're gonna be, if whatever you do, you're gonna do stuff, and there's gonna be people that's gonna try to stop what you're doing. There's gonna be people that's gonna say negative things about you. There's gonna be people that's gonna just try to stop your movement, and that's because your movement is so powerful and they don't want it to continue. Don't stop. And that's just one thing that like I just like really like hold on to. I can't stop no matter what. And it's like, you could try to stop me, I'm just not going to stop. So
I
it's
love
just
that.
like, yeah, that's one thing I would say, don't stop. If you see that people saying little negative stuff and that's making you like think about or rethink about what you're doing in life, don't rethink. The reason why they tell you that stuff is so you can stop. Literally, don't stop. Keep doing what you're doing because you're doing something right.
You're doing something
You're doing
right.
something
I
right.
love that. I love that so much. And I think you broke that down perfectly. So I just want to say thank you so much for being on today's show.
Thank you.
Being on today's episode. It means so much to me for you even allowing the time.
Thank you for allowing me.
Booked MC, booked DJ. And I want to thank you so much, Carl, our behind the camera guy who does all of our editing. He set all this beautiful light up. He got this quality together. Also, shout out Dan for the help. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to the second episode of the Artist Sit Down. Until next time.
Why we're surrounded by